Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Phil Jones to stay at Manchester United this season after Solskjaer tells Phil Jones he remains part of his first team plans this season. Phil Jones made his comeback from injury in the behind closed doors game against Burnley. Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. He did sustain the injury in the FA Cup game against Tranmere. Phil Jones is under contract with Man United until 2023. Jones has been a long-serving player at Manchester United. He's endured 10 years at the club. He's made 165 appearances in the Premier League for Man United. We got Phil Jones from Blackburn for around 16.5 million. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Now, Manchester United won't let Lingard leave on loan. Now, the Premier League website recently said that Jesse Lingard is set to join West Ham on loan in this summer transfer window. Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham last season, and he made a fantastic impact. Now, West Ham recently received a huge boost in their pursuit of Lingard because Man United dropped their asking price for Lingard to £20 million. Stuart Pearce has come out and said that West Ham want to sign Lingard, and he said he's a special lad. Fabrizio Romano came out and said that West Ham are going to submit another bid. Solskjaer recently confirmed that Lingard is part of his first team plans this season. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. He's risen up our academy. He's made around 133 appearances in the Premier League for Man United. Man United he's won the EFL Cup, the Europa League, the FA Cup and the Charity Shield, scored in some of them finals. But Lingard has had quite a few loan spells. He had a loan spell with Leicester, Brighton, Derby, Birmingham and obviously West Ham. Lingard was omitted from the squad for the game against Leeds last weekend, but he actually played in the game against Burnley recently and got his name on the score sheet. As you all know, Solskjaer has confirmed that he wants to make one more signing in this summer transfer window. I think we're going to be able to get that signing now because obviously we are offloading players. Because obviously we was warned that we need to sell to buy. Who will Man United's final signing be though in this summer transfer window? Solskjaer wants to get a midfielder in. That's his priority, and it does mention that Man United are prioritising a midfielder over a right back. There's been a lot of midfielders on our agenda. We have been in for Eduardo Camavinga, but he recently said we paused our pursuit of Camavinga. The other week it said we were still interested in Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. We're still interested in Declan Rice from West Ham. We was in for Ruben Neves from Wolves. We've also been in for Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. So yeah, before the start of the season, Solskjaer spoke out on Man United's transfer plans before deadline. He did say any more signings for Man United would be a bonus. We are now into the final 2 weeks of the summer transfer window. This summer transfer window has been Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer has been very pleased with our summer transfer business. And I think Man United have enjoyed a good summer transfer window. You know, we've made 3 signings so far. Obviously we brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa. We brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, and we brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we have spent almost, or is it, £120 million. But Solskjaer has received the backing he deserves. You know, Solskjaer wasn't backed enough for such a long time. Surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, have backed him only because they've been persuaded to, because towards the end of last season a lot of United fans protested against the Glazers at Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. Towards the end of last season, Solskjaer revealed that the Glazers apologised. One point it said the Glazers could have been forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. Back on the 4th of June, which was earlier on this year, Joe Glazer attended a fans forum and he promised Manchester United supporters that Solskjaer would get the financial backing. The Glazers have put Man United in so much debt, and that's the main explanation why they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They purchased the club for £500 million back in 2005. Woodward, he stood by Solskjaer. You know, he said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer. And when we was enduring them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Woodward has obviously been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time, because obviously he was accountable for how poor our recruitment was for so long. We've also overpaid for players in recent years. Woodward should have never been put into that position in the first place when he makes the footballing decisions. Woodward's leaving Man United. Obviously, it got announced he was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed at the club. John Murtough is our director of football. And obviously Darren Fletcher, he's part of the club. Manchester United have got a very, very good squad now, you know, with the signings of Sancho and Raphael Varane. I thought before Sancho and Varane came in, our squad was still decent, but it's much better now, and if we can get another signing on the board, it'll be even better. You know, you've got Jadon Sancho, that's good. I think he's going to do very, very well at Man United. Sancho obviously came on at the weekend against Leeds and made his Man United debut. Before the game against Leeds, his Man United debut was in doubt because Solskjaer came out and said that Sancho was feeling a little sick and he'd only been able to complete one full training session. He'll do well at Man United, Sancho, providing Solskjaer uses him right. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million. And Sancho's got a contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. I'm expecting Sancho to make his full Premier League debut against Southampton this Sunday. Raphael Varane, he's very, very good. He's going to do really well at Man United. Varane to Man United was official just before the game against Leeds. We got Varane for £34 million. There was add-ons included in the deal. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United. There's an option of a further year. Varane is obviously wearing the number 19 shirt. At one point, the Raphael Varane announcement did get delayed due to image rights. Don't forget, Varane had to quarantine in Manchester. The other week he completed his medical. But he's our third signing of this summer transfer window, and what a centre-back partnership that is, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree as a player, so there you go. He's won a lot of trophies, hasn't he? That's why he's got a good pedigree as a player. Tom Heaton. He's a decent goalkeeper as well. Obviously, we brought Tom Heaton in as a backup. But to Tom Heaton's credit, he did well throughout pre-season. Like I mentioned, we got Tom Heaton on a free. He's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option to extend his contract for the further year. Dean Henderson, he's also a very, very good goalkeeper. Obviously, Dean Henderson is unavailable at the moment because he has been recovering from COVID. Dean Henderson did well though in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. His distribution was good and he kept a lot of clean sheets. Just before the start of last season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. And Henderson's got that experience behind him because he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. I still highly rate David De Gea, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. Earlier on in the summer, he said that David De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, and De Gea said he's determined to fight for his future. We know De Gea is staying for this season. This is De Gea's 11th season at Man United. He's enjoyed 10 years at the club, so he has been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. De Gea has like 2 years left on his contract and he's on £375,000 a week. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. But if we were to sell De Gea in January or next summer, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pound. Luke Shaw, he's a very, very good left back. I'm expecting him to enjoy a good season. Luke Shaw put a good performance out against Leeds last weekend. Luke Shaw was one of our best players last season, and Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. Shaw's been at Manchester United for like 7 years now, so he's been a long-serving player, and I reckon he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. I'm convinced we'll be extending Luke Shaw's contract. Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half. He's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games at Man United. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season, was Maguire, because he had ligament damage in his ankle. Maguire did well against Leeds last weekend, made some vital interceptions and stuff like that, and brought the ball out well from the back. But we should get the best out of Maguire now anyway, with obviously Varane alongside him. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half as well, and obviously it's said that Eric Bailly's future is in doubt following the arrival of Raphael Varane. But I'd still keep Eric Bailly as a backup, so if Varane or Maguire get injured, then Bailly's the plan B. Obviously Jones, he's a backup, Lindelof, he's a backup as well, and obviously Jones is a backup. But obviously I prefer Bailly to Lindelof and Jones. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. We got Bailly for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. Bailly has been with us now for like 5 years or so. And Wan-Bissaka, he's very, very good as well. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. There's probably aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. Maybe he's got to show more attacking intent. Maybe his crossing needs to improve a bit more. We got Bissaka for 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Paul Pogba, he's very, very good. Pogba put a very good performance out against Leeds last weekend. You know, he got 4 assists in that game. Also should have had his name on the score sheet because he had a fantastic chance. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while. Now I give you the news on Paul Pogba earlier on today. It says Paul Pogba is set to not sign a new contract before the summer transfer window closes, but Paul Pogba has refused to rule out a new deal. Solskjaer said he's confident that Pogba will extend his contract. Pogba's current contract expires next summer. Obviously, before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Prior to the Leeds game, Solskjaer said he was relaxed over media magnate Pogba. Pogba is expected to stay at Man United for at least this season. PSG are pushing to sign Pogba on a free next summer. Sky Sports said it's very likely that Pogba will leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires. The Independent did say that PSG are prepared to offer Paul Pogba £500,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. But it actually said Pogba's preference would be moved to Real Madrid or Barcelona if he leaves next summer. You know, Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well, but McTominay is not yet on that level where I want him to be at. The question is, can McTominay emulate to that level? I'm expecting McTominay to enjoy a good season. I thought McTominay did well in quite a few games last season. He's been part of the club for a long time. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. And Donny van der Beek, I think he's a good player. Haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he hasn't started that many games. He only started 4 games in the league last season. Last season, most of Van der Beek's appearances come from the bench. This season, I'm expecting Van der Beek to get a hell of a lot more starts than he did do last season. If he doesn't get the starts he's demanding this season, then I would consider offloading him in January of next year or next summer. This is Van der Beek's second full season. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax, with add-ons included. Van der Beek's got a contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Bruno Fernandez, obviously, he's a world-class player. He's made a difference in this team. He really has. You know, Bruno Fernandez is our best player, and he's probably the best signing we've made since Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandez got his first Manchester United hat-trick last weekend against Leeds. In most of Bruno Fernandez's games at Man United, he's been very consistent, but there's a few games where he has looked off the pace. Bruno Fernandez has been at Man United now over a year and a half. Last season he won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. By the way, Man United are in talks over a new deal for Bruno Fernandez that could be between £250,000 to £300,000 a week. Fernandez receives £100,000 a week at the moment. He's got 5 years left on his deal. You've got Mason Greenwood, who's also very good. You know, he scored last weekend against Leeds. Should have had a couple of more goals because he had 2 good early chances. Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. Last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He deserved a new contract, reflecting on his good performances. And you've got Edison Cavani. He's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. He's out at the moment because he's been injured. Cavani will be leaving though after this season. Marcus Rashford, he's good when he wants to be, but he's endured his bad periods at Man United. He was out of form towards the end of last season, and another one of my element of concerns about Rashford, he has become injury prone at Man United. He's out with a shoulder injury at the moment. He's out until October. Don't forget, Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. When Rashford comes back though, we need to keep him on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. So there you go. So that's a decent squad, isn't it? And I reckon we've probably got the second best back four in the league. Liverpool's first, then ours. Like I updated you yesterday, Solskjaer wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Pogba, Bruno Fernandez, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire. To be fair, we've extended quite a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer got appointed in as Manchester United manager. You know the news on Brandon Williams. Sky Sports News recently said that Norwich are in advanced talks to sign Brandon Williams on loan. He could be at Norwich in the coming days. It's the right decision to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams is our third choice left back. He seldom plays for us. Williams has been a long-term target for Newcastle and Southampton. Williams has got a contract with Man United till 2024. Williams made his first team debut for us back in September 2019. This morning I gave you the news on Andres Pereira. Reports from Brazil have said that Andres Pereira accepted an offer from Flamengo. It's a loan with a buyout option. But yeah, it said he's close to joining Flamengo on loan. Talks have been going on between Man United and Flamengo. Andres Pereira was out on loan with Lazio last season, and obviously he's been out on loan with Valencia and Granada before. Pereira's got a contract with Man United till 2023. He's made 45 appearances in the Premier League for us. He's been at United since 2011. To Andres Pereira's credit though, he did well throughout pre-season. You also know the news on Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo is 90% certain to leave Man United on loan in the coming weeks. Quite a few clubs have been in for him. Sheffield United have been interested. Romano mentioned that Basel and Crystal Palace have registered an interest in signing Amad Diallo on loan. We need to loan Amad Diallo out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities. We got Amad Diallo back in January from Atlanta in a deal worth £37 million. We paid like £19 million up front. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And your Southampton Man United preview will be coming up tomorrow. Take care, God bless.